Joe, it's been a beautiful 45 years, and I love you.
Betty, I love you.
In love.
Give me a hug. How you doing, kids?
Happy anniversary, Uncle Joe and Auntie Betty.
And that's our boy. Jordan, what you doing? How are you?
You had something else.
I want to tell them how much we love them and how much we are inspired by their hearts and caring. And have a wonderful day today. It's beautiful, and thank you so much for letting us all join in your celebration.
Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary.
Yes, I met Joe in 1949. He had me come back to New York to put on an exhibition. Yeah, well, that's 56 years.
Oh, I remember the flood that you had in your apartment. Oh, I didn't. A friend of mine did. Oh, was it your friend?
Oh, you remember that?
Joe and Betty, I love you so much, and congratulations on your 45th wedding anniversary. The love that you have had for each other is such an inspiration, and all of us love you so deeply. Thank you.
Joe, Betty, we just want to thank you so much for every way you've affected our life and for allowing us to be a part of it. And some great memories and great times to come. You guys have touched the lives of so many people, hundreds of millions of people worldwide, so we're glad to be a part of that and glad to be here to share this evening with you.
Happy anniversary.
Our love to you both.
Thank you so much for inviting me, and thank you for letting me take care of little Annie, our little precious little girl. She's here with us today. Thank you. Hi, I'm Dorothy, and I'm a friend of Joe and Betty's, and I knew her mother.
Well, we're honored to be part of the celebration, Joe and Betty, and thank you for having us, and we're looking forward to a wonderful evening. What would you like to say, honey?
Amen.
Thanks. We'll see you guys.
I know that, Joe, how you've been so important to me in my life, and how supportive you were of me and Lou when we were first together, and you've always been like the great dad that Lou and I never had, and we love you both.
Hi guys, Betty and Joe.
We're very, very happy to be here and to
celebrate
your anniversary, and we're thrilled, and you look wonderful, and it's like we just came off the plane. In 1970.
We came here in '79, and you really made our lives beautiful.
You were gracious to us then, and you're gracious to us now, and your hospitality was great then, and it still is now. And we hope to celebrate many, many, many more years together, and for weddings, for anniversaries, and birthday parties,
etc.
And we love you dearly. May you have much health and happiness.
See how much I say.
Very good. First of all, I can tell you that I met Joe quite a few years ago. I met him when I was representing Arnold Schwarzenegger, and
used to go to his office.
And Arnold said, "Go to Joe." He said, "Go to Joe." He said, and arranged to get the cover of Muscle and Fitness. And so I went to Joe, and the first minute I met Joe, I was just in love right then. And then I met Betty, and that was, if anything, even more incredible. My wish for Betty and Joe is they are the most loving, wonderful, generous, big-hearted, fabulous people that I know, and I love them so much. And I know I speak for Joel.
We treasure the time we spend with them. We socialize often. We always have a wonderful time.
And our daughter Ruth wanted to say a special congratulations and hello. And again, we wish them everything. We wish them health, happiness, joy, and everything that life has to offer. And we love you, Joe and Betty.
Hi, Joe and Betty. I love you both so much. I'm so happy to be here to help you celebrate. And hopefully we'll celebrate many, many more happy, healthy anniversaries together. I love you both.
I am delighted to be here today at the 45th wedding anniversary. I think it is 45 years they're married. And I think that there is very rarely that you see a couple that is closer than Joe and Betty. I think they're a great inspiration to all of us, to the ones that are married less years. I mean, like me, 20 years now. But it's unbelievable what I've seen. They not only worked really well together in business, where Joe and Betty worked to build the whole Weider empire, but you know that I've seen them going through periods where there was great joy in life and great celebrations, great victories in business and in many other areas, but I also have at the same time seen them together when they were in trouble. Like when Joe had his heart surgery. She was sitting there day and night by his bed, and it was really amazing to see that, and to see her being there and loving him and caring for him in these very critical moments. And also when he had his back surgery, for instance, when he was in Ohio, and Betty was sitting there for weeks, you know, day and night, sitting there and making sure that the best doctors are there and that he gets the right medication and all this. I've never seen anyone tirelessly working to support, their partner like Betty has shown. And the same is with Joe. When Betty needed something, Joe was always there. So they are the ultimate example of a great marriage, and this is why they've been married for 45 years. And, you know, they're great inspiration to Maria and me, and we love them. And, of course, Joe and Betty, both of them, brought me over here to America and gave me the opportunity to enjoy this great country and this land of opportunity. So I wish them all the best for the next 45 years. Thank you.
Dear Ben and Joe, this is for Nina and myself. I wish you many happy years together from now on, and hope that you will be as vital and as happy as you are now. All the best.
Uncle Joe, Auntie Betty, I love you both, and I wish you just all the best on this wonderful celebration. 45 years. Do I wish you 45 more? Yes. And it's beautiful, magical, wonderful, and I know we'll have a wonderful time. And just looking forward to seeing you very shortly. Love you.
All the best and lots of love for many more years, another 45 years.
Well, Joe and Betty, it's more like saying hello, Mom and Dad. I love you. You've been very inspirational in my life, and I appreciate your support. But more than anything, I appreciate you being part of my family and letting me become part of your family. So I wish you another 45 years of happiness and health. God bless you both. Thanks.
Joe and Betty, what a pleasure it is to be here in celebration of your 45th wedding anniversary. With Joe's wisdom and Betty's grace, they are indeed the perfect couple. We are so delighted to share this wonderful evening with you. All the best.
Just can't say any more than that. We love you, and we're so happy to be here.
Indeed.
They were at our house just before they were married, and we had dinner together, and here it is 45 years later, and I can't believe where the time has gone. And congratulations to you. Jack went the other way, so maybe you can catch him later. I know he'd like to say something, but God bless you both, and you're just as beautiful as you and handsome as you were then.
First of all, congratulations, and thank you for the invite, and it's a pleasure to be here. And Joe, thank you for making everything happen for me.
Thanks, Joe and Betty, for everything you've done. Congratulations on your 45th. You gave me my first sports contract, and I just got my next contract with NBC Prime Time. So thank you.
That's right.
Do that again. Yeah. Because I'm representing the Brosmer clan, so I'm Betty's cousin. I'm Jim Burden, and this is my wife, Kathy Burden. And so we see Betty and Joe at Lake Tahoe from time to time, and at actually family reunions, and we had great times with them, and very happy to be here. Very honored.
Well, to Betty and Joe, of course, I wish them the best, good health, and may they be blessed with many more happy and healthy years. You get. With love, you get.
These two people, if there were more people in the world like Joe and Betty Weider, it would be a better world. And I'm very fortunate to be their friend over all the... We've known each other forever, maybe longer.
Who's longer?
Say a few words.
Oh, the great Jack Holland and his wife. Are you so picking him up and so...
Honey, I can't take him anywhere.
Wow. Well, you're okay, Jack. Keep up the great work.
My wife couldn't make it. This is my mistress.
I just want to say happy 45th wedding anniversary. And David and I have been married almost 19 years. and we hope we can last 45 years. And the pictures of y'all were amazing. And again, have a very, very happy 45th anniversary.
Congratulations.
Okay, ready? Great. Everybody. Good.
Joe and Betty, you've been such a great inspiration in my life, and
yes, in our lives.
That's the way I met my
That's
wife.
how we met, yeah. Really muscle and fitness, starting in the 80s, you know. Thanks to you.
Thanks to you, and I have a career to thank him for too. So thanks a lot, Joe.
Joe and Betty, just we met you first back in 1980, just when I became your accountant, and you've been at our house, we've been at yours. And I can only promise you that I will lose the weight that you've been bugging me to do all these years. Happy anniversary and many more.
And I'm very happy to be here. I find that they're a wonderful couple, and I came from Montreal especially to be a part of this beautiful event. And I know they have a lot of love for each other. And me and my husband is not here, but also I wish in his name, Louis Weider, a wonderful, wonderful wedding anniversary from the both of us.
That's about it. We love you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I want to say greetings. I'm here with my wife, Carla, and I know a lot of people would say a lot of things, but I can summarize it one thing. Joe's an inspiration, but like a second father to me, and we're very fortunate to have him today, especially for so many years. And my life wouldn't be where I am now if it wasn't for him. And I'm really appreciative that I'm here for the 45th anniversary because, you know, we're talking about 45 years ago, I was just barely picking up weight and looking in the magazine and reading about Joe and Betty. And Betty's laying by the pool, showing her beautiful body. I'm saying to myself, oh my God, look at Betty Weider. Maybe someday I'll go to California and train and be on the beach and posing for pictures. So 45 years later, bam.
Just like that.
Exactly.
Yeah. And also they were at our wedding anniversary, our wedding anniversary, but they were at our wedding 26 years ago. Right here at the same place.
Same place?
Yes, Bel Air Hotel.
It's the official hangout.
It is. It's the official getting married place. Anniversary place, yes.
Thank you both very much.
Well, I've probably known Joe all my life, about the time I was born. And I worked by his side as photo editor for Muscle and Fitness for about 5 years. Yeah, so I know Joe real well, worked with him closely, and I think he's just a great guy. He's an icon. He's done great things, and he and Betty are great together. They've really accomplished a lot in their life, and I think that they're an inspiration to us all.
I just wanted to say congratulations on 45 years, and thank you very much for having us. Congratulations.
Well, I've known Joe since 1968, and he's been a very good friend. He's been very helpful, and he's a great guy. I really like him because he helps other people. That's what he does. That's his job. Yes, and we're invited here from Hawaii, and we're very happy to be here, and especially meeting my old friend Armin and his daughter Wendy. Randy, yes. Mm-hmm. So it's good to see old people that, you know, we've known for many, many years.
Anne and I have a lot to be thankful for with Joe and Betty. We literally wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. They brought us from England to work for Joe 14 years ago and basically changed our lives. So we'll always be in their debt, and we love them both.
Wonderful people. We really love them, really. And congratulations on their anniversary.
Joe is not only my mentor and my hero, he's also an incredible friend. And I wish you, Joe, and Betty only the best for the next at least 40 more years. And you've been really always here for me, and I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
Well, we're certainly happy to be here to celebrate this wonderful occasion. It's a beautiful setting, and well, we're just happy to be here.
How long have you known Joe and Betty?
About 15, 20 years.
Wow. How did you meet them?
Actually, through my work. I was a landscape designer. I'm sort of retired now. And we've been friends for a long time.
That is a nice picture.
We're so happy to be here and sharing this wonderful occasion with both of you. We wish you all the best, and we look forward to seeing you lots and lots of times.
We just know Joe and Betty only about 35 years, and we're looking forward to many more years where we can get together. And Joe and Betty, a lot more often. We wish you both good health, and we look forward to a wonderful evening. Look forward to being with you soon.
Excellent. Tell us, how you came across Joe and Betty and how they changed your life.
Can't remember what year I met Joe and Betty. It was at the Arnold Classic with Mitsun Kawashima here, and ran into him in the elevator, just me and Joe. And I said, "Joe, who's he gonna win?" He goes, "I don't know." So those are the exact words. I don't know a damn thing. But happy anniversary to Betty and Joe. Thank you.
Joe and Betty, we are so happy to be here and share this evening with you. It's just a beautiful evening, a beautiful event, and we just love being able to be here with you.
Happy anniversary. It's a lovely evening.
My wife Michi and I are here to wish our very good friend Joe and his wife Betty a very happy anniversary. They've had a wonderful life together, and we're very proud to be their friends.
Very good.
Thank you. Same, thank you.
I'm Joe Weider's ghost. I collaborated with him on his autobiography, which is coming out this fall. And if you made up the guy's story, somebody'd tell you to back off. It's the most wonderful story, and him and Betty, it's beautiful. What can I say? Thank you.
In Lexington?
Close there. Close there. There we go.
There's my father.
Harmon, go to go, buddy. Is that built by 24?
No, it was
Now, the last time people were taking silverware and tapping the glassware, it was when Betty and Joe got married about 45 years ago, and that's why we're all here this evening, is for Betty and Joe Weider's 45th anniversary. Give those newlyweds a big hand. Well, I'm Tim Greenwood. They asked me to talk long enough to invite Betty and Joe on to the dance floor to dance to their favorite song, When I Fall in Love, performed by the great Preston Smith and his band. Now, Betty and Joe know that there's lots of friends in this room, and they would like anybody who's interested to join them now on the dance floor for this very special song with our newlywed couple.
When I fall in love, it will be forever.
In addition to all the friends and lives and coasts and continents that Betty and Joe have touched, well, it all starts with family, and Eric Weider is about to come up and make a very special champagne toast for Betty and Joe. Eric?
Okay, good evening, everybody. What a beautiful evening. What a beautiful evening, and just so wonderful to be here with family and friends. I'd like to make the first toast tonight, and I'd like to start by rolling back the clock 45 years to 1961. John F. Kennedy was inaugurated President of the United States. Sophia Loren won Best Picture, Best Actress. Alan Shepard was the first American into space, and John F. Kennedy committed that we would have a man on the moon by the end of the decade. And Mickey Mantle signed a contract for $75,000, making him the highest paid professional athlete of his day. But of course, the most important event of 1961 is the reason why we're here tonight, and that is that Joe Weider fell in love and married my aunt, then Betty Brosmer. From the moment Joe saw Betty, he was in awe of her beauty. Now, how do I know this? And he still is today. And how do I know this? Because he tells me often. It's true. My Uncle Joe has also told me often how Aunt Betty was courted by the most eligible men of the day. It's true. And he couldn't believe that of all these eligible bachelors that she chose him. But it's more than beauty that has united and kept this incredible couple together for more than 45 years. They share a profound appreciation for each other's intellect, and they have shared a lifetime of passion for art, for history, for business, and for a curiosity about the world around them. When my Uncle Joe and Aunt Betty were married, it was truly two souls coming together to be one. And so tonight, let's raise our glass in a toast to Uncle Joe and Aunt Betty, who have taught us by their example that you are as young as your spirit. On your 45th anniversary, we toast your unending love and dedication to each other and the example that you set for us. We love you. Happy anniversary.
For a lot of vital people out here, I have a lot of shy people. One of the gentlemen I'd like to bring up here is one of Joe and Betty's oldest and dearest friends. Not that he's old, he's just known them a really long time. So if I could bring up Mr. Joe Corsi.
Teresa, I could stay up here for 10 or 20, 30, 40, or 50 minutes. I'm only going to take a minute or two because there are other guests here. But at one time I was an automobile dealer, and when I got out of East Oakland, I had a long talk with Joe. He said, "Why don't you get in the fitness business?" I said, "I don't know a damn thing about the fitness business." Go down to Gold's Gym and meet Arnold. Offer him a deal he can't refuse. I did. Can you imagine? I said, "Arnold, we're going to do some seminars and we're going to do some shows and we're going to do some contests." He said, "Joe, I'm not interested. I'm so busy with my bodybuilding and everything. I really don't want anything." Well, I had just seen the Godfather movie, and I said, "Well, I'm going to make you an offer you can't refuse." He said, "What's that?" I said, "We're going to do a few things. I'll pay you $1,000 an hour." He said, "We got a deal." Joe and Betty and I go way back, and they're the dearest friends I ever had.
And stop kissing the ladies, Jack. People want their food.
Good evening. What a group. I'm telling you. You know, I've traveled all over the world. I've never seen a group like this. Young, rich, sexy, talented. You've got it all. You know, Joe Weider, what can you say? You know, I'm a great believer that anything in life is possible. You believe that? Yeah. I'm going to tell you a little story. This couple, they lost their respective spouses. At the end of the year, little Jenny became ill. And this destroyed them both because they were having so much fun. They made love and everything. So Henry, being very wealthy, took her to Mayo Clinic. And she was there for 5 days. You know, being 90 years old, the doctors did everything for her. At the end of the 5th day, the doctors, they came over. They had a little cake for her. They said, "We have found out what your problem is. You are pregnant." But that's impossible. You're 90 years old. And Henry's 91. But she says, "May I have your phone?" She gets on the phone. "Hello, Henry? You dirty old man, you got me pregnant." They're silent on the phone for 5 minutes. And he says, "Who is this?" See, anything in life is possible, and that's the story of Joe and Betty Weider. Think about it. Everything that Joe had done, I remember him, you know, when he started out, my God, he was just, everybody ridiculed him. He was down, no money hardly, and look what he's done to turn out to be one of the greatest figures that's ever been in the history of the physical fitness business. And you know, I'm very flattered and honored that I've been friends of Joe's and Betty's all these years. You didn't know that Joe sang. So he's going to sing a song to Betty. This is Joe Weider singing to his wife Betty. There would be such wonderful things to do, and I would say such wonderful things to you if you were the only girl in the world, and I were the only boy. Happy anniversary!
My name is Ed Connors, and for 25 years I was one of the owners of Gold's Gym. And I first met Betty and Joe in 1980, I believe it was. I always look at Joe and Betty as a team, so when I say Weider, I mean the pair. I like to think that there was a wonderful synergy between Gold's Gym and Weider Enterprises, and together we we change the world. And I would meet bodybuilders, people who would come to the Mecca. Our feeling was that since not everybody could get to Venice, California, and visit the Mecca bodybuilding, which Joe and Betty and we all helped make, that we would take the Mecca to the people and franchise the name. But I would still meet many people over the years who would come to visit the Venice location, and I would always ask them, like I probably asked Gunther or Roland, you know, what inspired you to pick up a weight or change your look, your physique, your self-image? The main answer was that at some point in their life they picked up a Weider magazine. And this is the incredible thing to me, is that, again, in this very cynical age, we think one person or one couple can't make a difference. And Joe and Betty Weider have changed millions of lives, and I don't use that number lightly. The number of people worldwide that have been changed because of the Weider empire is truly impressive, and I congratulate and I toast them for that.
What constitutes a successful marriage, a successful enduring marriage? Myself, only having been married about 17 years, I don't really consider myself an expert yet. So I decided to do a little research and see what was out there on the subject. And the opinions varied wildly. Phyllis Diller once said, "Don't go to bed angry, stay up and fight." While Gandhi was reported to have said, "I learned the concept of nonviolence in my marriage." Regardless of how many opinions we all get to hear and how we might think a marriage should go, we need only look to the example of the two lovely people we're honoring here tonight to see the lessons that should be learned. Betty, having stood by Joe through 45 of some of the most interesting years of his adult life, has learned that love can be a wild and woolly roller coaster. But no matter how steep the climb, how perilous the drops, or how wicked the twists and turns, you hold on and you hope for the best. Betty has stood by Joe's side after various surgeries, multiple business highs and lows, years of bodybuilders breaking her antiques, and countless other adventures in the saga of life with Joe. And through it all, she has learned devotion, compassion, empathy, joy. The list is very long. In his 45 years of living with Betty, Joe has learned well, Joe is still learning, and for that very reason, it is my wish that God grant them many more years to figure out this crazy thing called love.
We have been joined by the governor of the great state of California, Arnold Schwarzenegger, a longtime friend and associate of Joe and Betty Weider.
Franco and I, we decided to come up here together and talk. And first I'm going to say a few words, and Franco is going to say a few words. But first of all, we just wanted to say to both of you, congratulations to being married for 45 years. It's no miracle to me, because I've been able to watch you since 1968. And what a wonderful couple you have been, and what an unbelievable inspiration. What an unbelievable inspiration that you've been to all of us. And I'm sure I'm talking here about all the guys that are in here, including Lou Ferrigno and Franco and I. We just have talked about it, that you, Joe, have not only been an inspiration to us with bodybuilding, and you not only have given us an unbelievable opportunity to, for instance, in our case, bringing us to this country and having the courage to make this kind of a decision. You did not know us. You knew that we had maybe big arms, so that he can bench press 500 pounds, and you knew those things, but you didn't know what kind of people we were, what kind of human beings we were. And could you trust us? Is it a good idea to bring us over? But you had the courage to do that, you had faith in us to do that. And so that is number one. But Number two, and every single step of the way when you helped us, it was Betty and you together, because you always acted as a team. In every decision that you've made, even though you act ballsy sometimes, and you pretend like you're your own man and you're doing things, you know, but we all do that. We all do that. Every guy always says that, you know, I do this and I do that, because we sometimes forget to say we do this and we do that, you know. So we understand that. We all can relate to that. Your success in business, in publishing, building the magazine, building your whole Weider empire. I saw Betty by your side in every single decision. And so I think that both of you have been an extraordinary team, an outstanding team. And what is so spectacular is that your relationship is a kind of a multi-dimensional relationship. And why I say multi-dimensional is because it's always easy to have a great relationship when everything goes well. And most of your life, everything has gone well. So it's a piece of cake to make things work well. Everyone is happy, you make a lot of money, everything's successful, you sell your business, you buy another business, all those things. But we all have seen the other side. And that is the side when you were in trouble. For instance, when you had your heart surgery. What happened when you had your heart surgery? Who was there, glued to you 24 hours a day? It was Betty. It was Betty. She was there 24 hours a day, stroking you, telling you that you're going to be great, and giving you the pills, and giving you the food supplements, and feeding you. I saw you lying there when she was feeding you. That is unbelievable dedication. That is unbelievable love, deep love. I have seen the devotion and the dedication there. Those are the days and those are the times when you really can judge a relationship, when things are not going so well with personal things, with health and so on. And the same thing happened again many years later, which was last year when you had your back surgery. And again, when I visited you in Ohio, who was there day and night? But not just for 7 days, as with the heart surgery, but for a month straight in a hospital. She was there every single time I called, she was answering the phone. And it was not just to stroke you and to give you medication, but also to supervise the doctors, because as we all know, you can have the best doctors, but they sometimes get all conflicting with the signals and the messages, who gives what medication to him and all those things. She managed all of that. I saw her when doctors came in and says, no, we already gave him that medication. Go come back in 4 hours and so. So she managed the whole thing. So I just think it is extraordinary, this kind of a relationship we have seen, and this is why I say to you, to both of you, you have been an inspiration to Maria and me. There's not a time that when we talk about muscle and fitness and Weider and so, Maria doesn't bring up Joe Weider is the luckiest man in the world by having Betty Weider by his side, because she's a true partner. So I just want to say, and I just asked you literally 5 minutes ago, asked you, what is it why you love Betty so much? And you said to me, she's the sexiest woman I've ever met. She's the smartest woman I've ever met. She's the shrewdest woman you have ever met. She's the most loyal woman I've ever met. All of those things you said. Now that is exactly what it's about. And you said to me, and it says what is great about it is we respect each other and we love each other, which is the most important thing in a relationship. So a big hand to both of them. Congratulations and happy anniversary for your 45th anniversary. Fantastic.
Can you imagine without Joe, I would be in Germany doing some construction. Did you tell him that? Okay. And I mean, I don't know, maybe we'll have come to America anyway, I don't know, but you have to thank Joe still for that. However, the most coincidence and the most incredible thing is that Betty, Arnold, and we are Leos.
That's right.
And that keeps Joe in place a little bit. In fact, every time I see Joe, I say, but why we are not doing what I'm going to do? Betty doesn't let me do that. Betty doesn't let me do this, you know? But anyway, I just heard that they know each other since 1961, and we know each other since 1965, and before during that time, we have another friend that is probably the world traveler. He comes to see Joe from Munich, the farthest person. I really would like to bring Albert here because we know Albert since 1964-65. Albert, can you come here, please? And before anything, Joe, I congratulate you. 45 years is a long time with a Leo, you know? But maybe it's because Betty puts up with you. But anyway, everything is great. And
so anyway, I don't know where to start to talk about Joe and Betty, but there's a saying, a phrase in America especially, it all comes down to money. That is true, but in this room, and right now in this moment, to me and I guess for everybody else here, it all comes down to love. For me, love, I don't only know, don't only believe, I know that love is the biggest power in the world, much bigger than the world we know. So it's very easy for me to say Betty is the most beautiful woman I have seen in my life. When I saw her in the early 70s doing a modeling job, I couldn't believe what I saw because the measurements are not real, but I saw it in flesh and blood, so I had to believe it. But it was, to me, like a dream. Joe, I congratulate you to have married the most wonderful woman, but the most important thing is that, like the governor said already, she is much more than a beautiful woman. She is the woman made for you on this planet, and she is standing for you ever since she met you and since you are married, and you are not the easiest guy to live with. I would say, like Teresa said already, it's your part now really to start learning seriously. So I would say, like Arnold and Franco said, you are a great couple. I am blessed and thank the Lord every day that He let my way cross so early with you two. And I'm very happy that you brought these two wonderful human beings and athletes to USA according what I wrote to you all the time. And finally you did it, but you were the one who did it. Many others would not have done it, but you did it. And the rest of these two is simple history, and not only in bodybuilding, for this country, for the world. Very clear. So you are a living proof and best example for us all that love is the most important thing in life, and love is the only true power. Joe and Betty. May I call you for leaving here?
This is probably the best party I've been to because about 40-some years ago when I began weight training, I used to go to the comic book store. And I remember there was a magazine called Muscle Power. And there was pictures of Joe and Betty posing on the beach, you know, taking pictures. And of course, our favorite governor on the beach too, posing with Betty Weider. And it was a dream of mine. I had many dreams in my life. And I remember seeing those pictures. I said to myself, this is a dream. I'm going to come to California. I'll never forget the first day when Joe called and said, listen, I'd love for you to come to California and train with Arnold, train with all these different people, and day trade with different people in bodybuilding. It was a dream coming true because today, Arnold and I would not be where we are because it wasn't for Joe. And I'm very excited because it's his anniversary, and after 45 years, Joe is still here, especially having the back surgery and going through all the difficulties and knowing how much what he's done for the sport, and especially his love and his care of helping me and different people to achieve our dream. But Joe always demanded the best in people. He always demanded that you maximize what you have and never feel sorry for yourself, but always say, I can do better. For example, sometimes I'll be working out at the gym. Joe will come and say, listen,
I'd be working out, maybe doing bench press of like 350 pounds. He would say, 350 pounds, it should be 400 pounds because always strive for your maximum. This has a tremendous effect because it affected everything that I've done that you want to achieve when you want to achieve. Because I'm speaking tonight from the heart because I came from basically from New York and knowing that you achieve certain things, but Joe's always taking the next step. And especially that him and his wife, though, I've seen in the magazines, they've been married so long because they still express today the same vitality and love that when I first met them 45 years ago. I'm extremely honored to be here tonight because it is a great party because all my peers are here tonight, all my friends, and I can't say any more. And especially I would never have met my beautiful wife if it wasn't for Joe, which is the icing on the cake, and it makes my whole life. Thank you very much.
She's so proud that Marianne's godfather is a governor. And what kind of song are you going to play?
I'm going to play African Farewell.
Okay.
Bob Long, Betty and Joe's good friend and a professional entertainer from Las Vegas and cruise ships from around the world, will entertain you now on behalf of Betty and Joe with a few songs dedicated to Betty and Joe on this very special day and in memory of their beloved Annie.
Raise your hand if you knew Annie. All right. Well, the way I came into this clan was about 8 years ago. Betty and her friend Dorothy and Mrs. Roberts and Annie came into a casino in Las Vegas where I was performing. And we got to talking, you know, and Annie said that her son-in-law was into weightlifting. And I thought, well, that's perfect. I am too. And I pictured a guy with a bench and some weights. And then she said, it's Joe Weider. And it took me several minutes to recover. Now, over the past 8 years that I've known the Weider family, we've had some marvelous times, and I'm so honored to be part of this wonderful function tonight. The Joe and Betty Boogie.
Can you guys see over here? Can you see? Okay.
I'd like to welcome back the band, including Adam Levy on bass, Stuart Jean on drums, multi-talented musician, vocalist, and chosen by the great Barbara Streisand to play at her wedding to James Brolin, Mr. Preston Smith.
Happy anniversary. You're both an inspiration to all of us.
Auntie Betty, Uncle Joe, we want to wish you a very, very happy 45th anniversary. We're just thrilled and delighted to share this beautiful evening with you. And we love you, and we think the world of you. And thank you for throwing such a lovely event tonight. We love you.
When I first saw my wife, a light went onto in my head, because in our brain a light comes on when you see something unusual. When an artist sees some great scenery, he has to paint it, and she just lit me up.
And I'm so happy we had this party. I think everyone enjoyed it, and you're special today is the day I met you, and I wish we were joyful as we were in that old video, and I think we are. I love you.
I love you for who you are, what you do, and what you care about. I can't be without you or live without you. You are special.
When I fall in love, it will be forever, or I'll never fall in love. In a restless world like this is, love is ended before it's begun, and too many moonlight kisses seem to melt in the warmth of the sun. When I give my heart, it will be completely. I'll never give my heart. And the moment I can feel